Hi there. This job fair is much bigger than I expected. I'm Nina, and I just finished my degree in communications. Are you here looking for new opportunities as well? Nice to meet you, Nina. Yes, I'm James. I work as a software developer, but I'm hoping to find positions at tech startups. It can be overwhelming, but these events are great for meeting recruiters. What kinds of roles are you interested in?
I'm mainly looking for entry-level marketing jobs, especially digital marketing roles. By the way, have you visited any interesting company booths so far?
Actually, I've just come in too. I heard the booth for Innovatech is hiring junior developers. Maybe we could check it out together. Also, it's polite to introduce yourself with a short summary, something like, I'm currently working in app development.
That's a good tip. It's helpful to prepare a short introduction, especially when talking to recruiters who meet so many people in a day. Let's head to the first booth and practice. Approaching recruiters can feel intimidating. Do you have a strategy for starting conversations at these booths, James?
Absolutely. I usually start with a polite greeting and then ask about open positions. For example, good morning, I'd like to know more about your current job openings. This shows initiative and respect.
That makes sense. I've also read that asking about company culture or growth opportunities can set you apart. For instance, could you tell me what skills are most valuable in your team?
Exactly. Recruiters appreciate when you show real interest. Plus, using specific vocabulary like qualifications, responsibilities, or career path demonstrates professionalism.
When it comes to describing your experience, what's the best way to highlight your strengths without sounding too boastful?
A balanced approach works best. You might say, I recently completed an internship in social media marketing where I managed campaigns for local businesses. This gives details without exaggeration.
That's helpful. I usually mention my group projects, like I've worked on several marketing campaigns as part of my coursework. Using concrete examples seems to help recruiters remember you.
Exactly. Backing up your skills with real-world scenarios shows you're ready for the workplace. It's similar to how software developers might mention specific apps or tools they've worked with, like React or Python.
Since our backgrounds are different, what are some common questions you get about working in tech, and how do you answer them in simple English?
People often ask what programming languages I know, or what projects I've built. I usually reply, I've developed mobile apps using JavaScript and enjoy working on creative solutions. In tech, clear language is better than jargon.
In marketing, recruiters might ask about campaign results or content creation. I'd say something like, I created a social media strategy that increased engagement by 30%. Using numbers makes your achievements stand out.
That's a great point. Quantifying results like mentioning user growth, sales, or engagement applies across industries. It helps recruiters visualize your impact, whether it's marketing, finance, or education.
Networking feels awkward sometimes, but it's essential. What phrases do you find useful for making connections at events like this?
Simple but professional phrases work well, such as, nice to meet you, or do you have a business card? If you want to follow up, you can say, I'll check your website and connect on LinkedIn.
I like to ask, are there any networking sessions later? Or do you know what time the presentation starts? These questions keep the conversation going and show you're engaged.
Exactly. Even asking, could you recommend other companies to visit? Opens doors. Networking is about building relationships, not just collecting contacts.
Let's talk about polite ways to ask for information. Instead of direct questions, how can we soften our inquiries at a job fair?
Using phrases like, could you tell me? Or, would you mind sharing? Shows respect. For example, could you tell me what qualifications you're looking for in candidates? Is more professional than just, what do you need?
I agree. I also use, I was wondering if you're hiring for entry-level roles, or may I ask about your application process? This approach keeps the tone friendly yet formal.
Exactly. Adding please or, if possible, also helps, such as, could you please let me know what the next steps are? These small touches make a positive impression.
Resumes are still a key part of job fairs. What advice would you give for preparing one that stands out, especially for non-native English speakers?
Focus on clear, concise language and active verbs like managed, developed, or led. Use bullet points for achievements, and tailor your resume to the job you want. For example, highlight tech skills for software roles or communication skills for marketing.
That's practical advice. I read that recruiters spend only about 7 seconds scanning a resume, so making it easy to read is crucial. Including keywords from the job description can also help your application get noticed.
Exactly. And don't forget to check for grammar and spelling errors. These small mistakes can leave a negative impression, especially when English isn't your first language.
After making a good impression, the next step is usually an interview. What are some common interview questions you've encountered, and how do you prepare answers in English?
Some common ones are, tell me about yourself, or why do you want to work here? I prepare by writing out answers using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. This helps keep answers organized and specific.
That's effective. For example, if asked about teamwork, I might say, in my last project, I collaborated with a team to launch a campaign which increased sales by 15%. Giving concrete results makes answers memorable.
Exactly. Practicing aloud also builds confidence, especially if you're not a native speaker. Recording yourself can help identify areas to improve, like pronunciation or grammar.
After the event, what's the best way to follow up with recruiters and keep the conversation going?
A polite email is effective. Thank them for their time, mention something specific you discussed, and express interest in next steps. For example, thank you for sharing insights about your marketing team. I look forward to applying.
That's a great template. I also connect on LinkedIn with a short message like, it was a pleasure meeting you at the job fair. I'm excited about the opportunities at your company. This keeps you on their radar.
Exactly. Following up shows professionalism and enthusiasm. Even if you don't get an immediate response, it's a valuable part of networking.
Let's wrap up with a speaking challenge for our listeners. Imagine you're meeting a recruiter. How would you introduce yourself and ask about openings?
A sample could be, hello, my name is Alex. I have experience in project management and I'm interested in roles at your company. Could you please tell me about current job openings?
That's a strong start. Listeners, try practicing your introduction and a polite question. For example, I'd like to know more about the skills you're looking for. Repeating these phrases will help you sound natural at your next event.
Remember, confidence grows with practice. If you make a mistake, just smile and continue. Recruiters appreciate effort and enthusiasm. Good luck and keep networking.